am making a new video. Making a new video. Making ooh. Hey guys, I'm back for another video because I was feeling inspired. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, and I just want to go ahead and get started on it because I want to get through like the historical part of it first, and then I want to go ahead and interject with my own like intuition and understanding. So, I should talk about my nails. They are labradorite inspired, okay? You can't really check them out like that. Like, you can't really see the reflective. You know what? Let me go ahead and do my nails some justice and bring that light in. There we go. Can you see it? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Did my nails. They're labradorite inspired, so loving infusing the craft into like my beauty practice and regimen, you know? So anyway, I want to go ahead and start with this video is going to be just a comparison between the Lovers and the Devil card in tarot because they both share very similar messages, but you can see how one is a higher nature and the other one is a lower nature. So, let me go ahead and turn off the air because you're going to be able to hear that in the background. Look like you. That is good that we're both cute though. Yes, that is important. Okay, so yes, I want to get into let me scratch my eye without scratching my eyeball. I want to get into the historical aspect of these two tarot cards and then share my perspective. So if you hear like sizzle, crackle, pop in the background, that's my baby's noodles boiling away. So there's that. I don't want to get all the way into, I'll probably end up just sharing this picture so you can see what I'm looking at like as I'm reading. But first I want to start with the Lovers first and then go to the Devil. So the Lovers is a tarot card. It's a major arcana. And at the website that I'm looking at here, this is tarotmerchant.com. And they throw it way back basically and kind of give you the history behind this card. So the key is 6 and the color is orange. The Hebrew letter is Zain. The meaning is sword. Okay, stop. Okay, so where did I leave off? I said the meaning is sword. The letter number is 7. The astrological sign is Gemini. The alchemical element is air. And the musical note is D natural. Other attributions says smell, discrimination, sagacity. I don't know what that is. Sex, keen perception, discerned by nose, opposition, and separation. So, let's see. The card description. The Lover's card illustrates our intimate relationships and sense of self. Like the two figures, the card suggests that we should be emotionally naked before others. That's what I picked up on myself. And the divine. Yep, that's exactly what I picked up on. Stop putting up walls and fake personas. Strip away the facade and walk among the garden. It's exactly what I thought. Oh my God. Okay, let me stop. Point 1. So the picture, there's different points on the picture, and I'll just go ahead and flash that up here so you can see what I'm looking at and what I'm reading from. But point 1 is 2 trees. So there stands 1 tree beside the woman and 1 tree besides the man. Thematically, these trees reiterate the columns found in the High Priestess and the Hierophant cards. Symbolically, these trees represent the 2 trees in the Garden of Eden, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life near the man holds 12 flames. These flames could represent the 12 zodiac signs. Like the color red in the Emperor card, these flames illustrate the passion of will. The tree of knowledge near the woman holds fruit and a snake. Like the garden in the Empress card, the fruit illustrates the fertility of intellect. These 2 trees thus symbolize the balance between the body and mind. Point 2, the angel. An angel hovers above the Lovers and bridges the polarity between the 2 trees. That's what I understand to be the Trinity, the higher power and then the male and then the female. The angel can represent the divine superconsciousness or enlightenment that is attained after balancing the body and mind. The angel is what the two lovers hope to become. Oh, it's the Trinity. Okay. Point 3, two lovers. Much of tarot is about balancing the polarities of life. This includes man and woman. Adam and Eve stand separated near their respected trees. Both need to be careful. Man's body can be burned by the tree of life. Woman's mind can be tricked by the tree of knowledge. Both need temperance in order to avoid harm and to unite with one another. While this card might seem to illustrate a gender hierarchy, tarot considers the mind and body equally. Additionally, the angel of enlightenment is seen as an androgynous figure that blurs the line between gender. It has to be the Most High because there is no gender when it comes to the Most High power. Point 4, mountain. There's not that many, there's only 5 points, so bear with me. Between the two lovers stands a mountain. The mountain represents the struggle for enlightenment. Going back to the Fool card, the mountain is what separates us from the destination. If the lovers want to unite, they must face the trials of life head on and follow the Fool. Point 5, the snake. The snake completes the picture of the Garden of Eden. He represents the temptation to use knowledge for personal gain. While we must strive for knowledge, we must be careful about how we use it. Use knowledge to unite, never to divide. So it gets into like what the upright meaning and what the reverse meaning is, but that's not what I'm interested in. I just wanted to go and just talk about like the card only, like the card by itself. So that is the Lover's card, and then I just want to go ahead and hop on over to the Devil. This one has more points that it lists out. The last card only had 5 points, but this one has 8 points. So now we have the Devil, so I'll go ahead and flash that one up there for you. And the key is 15. The color is blue violet. The Hebrew letter is ayin. The meaning is I. The letter number is 70. The astrological sign is Capricorn. The alchemical element is earth. And the musical note is A natural. Other attributions are vision, bondage, mirth, circle, limits, laughter caused by incongruity, weaknesses, distress, and pain. So the card description. Like the Death card, the Devil card is incredibly misunderstood. The card features Baphomet, a horned god. While Baphomet is a neo-pagan god that unifies several dichotomies, man, animal, male, female, good, evil, he has incorrectly been interpreted as simply an illustration of evil. Traditionally speaking, Baphomet can illustrate the id within all of us. The Devil card encourages the discovery of things within us that we avoid addressing. All right, so now we're going to get to the points. Point 1, Baphomet's pose. Oh my gosh, yes. Baphomet's pose is a reiteration and subversion of the angel's pose in the Lover's card. His hands are also a subversion of the High Priestess's pose. While the High Priestess hands say, as above, so below, Baphomet's hands are open, saying that everything is revealed. There is no mystery in life. Point 2, Baphomet's head. Baphomet's head is that of a goat. Its triangular shape points downward, not only to illustrate the primacy of the material world at our feet, but also to subvert the traditional upward triangle of the Trinity. I'm reading this for the first time. I've never read these descriptions before. I only found this website and I'm like, okay, I'm going to read from there and then I'm going to go ahead and make my video and read it for the first time. So this is all, again, when you just are connected and you just see stuff, it's there. So anyway, they mentioned the Trinity. Point 3, the inverted pentagram. Between Baphomet's horns, I've got to check I'm still recording. Between Baphomet's horns, there is an inverted pentagram. This illustrates the darker versions of occultism. While many sects of religion use an upright pentagram as a positive symbol, the inverted pentagram subverts that effort. Point 4, the torch. In Baphomet's left hand, he holds a downward-facing torch. Like many of the symbolism in this card, the upside-down torch subverts the traditional religious objective of bringing light into the darkness. Point 5, the black box. Baphomet crouches with his goat feet on top of a black box. The box bears some resemblance to the Holy of Holies of Islam, the Kaaba. Okay. It can illustrate the unreflected self or the unknown within a non-mysterious world. Point 6, the poses of the humans. Like Baphomet's pose, the poses of the humans subvert the poses of the humans in the Lover's card. While the lovers were free in the Garden of Eden, the humans here are trapped in the fires of hell. Point 7. Tails of the humans. The two humans each have a tail. The woman's tail is made of grapes, while the man's tail is made of fire. The grapes and fire symbolize drunkenness and lust, two overindulgences. The two tails are also subversions of the two trees in the lover's card, one being the fruit of knowledge and the other being the fire of life. Point 8. The chains. Chains wrap around the necks of the two humans and connect them to the black box Baphomet stands on. While the chains appear to trap the humans, they are loose around their necks. The humans can escape at any time they want. Being with Baphomet is a choice. Okay, so I think I finished reading all of what the website has to say. I do want to keep these two cards up so I can just refer to them easily and spot the differences like by myself without having to remember what the cards look like. But I also have them here. Oh, I don't need to. I got them both right here. I have them both right here. So let me just switch. Yeah. So you see the lovers and you see the devil. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about these two cards because when you see like a lot of tarot readers on YouTube and things like that, like obviously a lot of them did not really study. Obviously, that's not what people do in this day and age. People just do not research shit. So you'll see that when they're referring to the lovers card, they often say that the lovers represents a choice, but as you can see in the history, it's the devil card that represents the choice. This is a higher power. This is where we naturally come from. I always got Garden of Eden vibes from the lovers card because of the snake and the fruit tree. I always picked up on that vibe. I love that it has like the Hebrew meaning on it because knowing history and things like that, I wouldn't be surprised if it was originally in Hebrew and it just got perverted like everything else in the satanic realm. But what I really want to talk about, I just want to mention Adam and Eve first of all, because I think I'm going to make another video for my S Banksta channel. But I had a revelation the other day, and the revelation was that Eve eating the fruit of the tree was not the problem. Like, it was meant for her to do that. The problem was when she shared the apple with Adam. Because Adam got real irresponsible real fast. He just straight up threw her under the bus. When the divine came and asked what was going on, he just said like, oh, she gave me the fruit, it's her fault. And man has just been corrupt ever since. When I'm looking at these, I just wanted to see like, or kind of share like what I understand about these two cards. I understand, at least walking in my life and like going through the different things that I have since, well, I feel like just moving to Florida just really accelerated things. Like when I was in DR, obviously I was reading the Bible like every single day, and the book of John really like hit me, like really, really hit me. But since being in Florida, I've been isolated, right? I haven't been talking to anybody, haven't been hanging out with anybody. I've just been staying to myself and charging up my energy basically in my own like vortex. Like this is my sacred space, my home. Nobody knows where I live. Nobody is allowed up in my joint. So obviously I'm just kind of marinating in my own energy, and I'm learning, and I'm just realizing these different things. And one of the things that I did notice was, like I just said, just noticing like the divinity of the lover's card and how it represents the Garden of Eden, like this whole thing. And you can tell looking at this angel, you don't know if that's man or woman, you just know it's divine. You just know it's a divine being. So I just really love these two cards because they represent the higher nature and the lower nature. This is just coming from my opinion. This is not my like tarot research or anything like that. This is just something that I've been picking up on since I started reading tarot. And I just got my traditional Rider-Waite deck a couple weeks ago. I should have started when I started with tarot. I should have started with the Rider-Waite since it's the OG, but I finally have it now, so we're good. Anyway, when you're looking at these two people, it's the same couple, right? But what this website did not speak to was where these two couples have their attention. So in the Lovers card, you can clearly see that the man has his attention on the woman. So the masculine has his attention on the feminine, and the feminine has her attention on the divine. She is not checking for this man, nor is she thinking that this man is like a higher power. She knows there's a higher power, and she looks to the higher power. I made a video about the original divine feminine. I talked about how like the original divine feminine had to look up to the heavens and look to divinity for protection, because I mean, literally, as the story goes, Adam did not even protect Eve. He literally sacrificed her, threw her under the bus. So in this higher power card, this is the original Trinity. Now you see the big ass sun. If you look at the thumbnail or something like that, or if you go back and pause, I'm not going to keep putting the cards up for you. Oh, if you look at the sun, the sun represents enlightenment. You know this if you like go to church and you know about like Jesus and how they always paint different pictures of Jesus, and all like the disciples, they always have that sun behind them. So this is just traditional symbolism based on like enlightenment and knowledge, basically, like the card says. So you have the sun behind this higher being that's on this cloud, and you have the sun here, and then you have like this androgynous higher power. Now this is the original Trinity, because when the Trinity is in order and not perverted like in the Devil card, this makes that Trinity. The man looks to the masculine has to go to the feminine for connection to the higher power. It's just the way that it is. I didn't make this earth. I didn't set this up like this. It just is the way it is. I'm putting the card down now. The masculine has to go to the feminine to get to the higher power. That's why these dudes that be running around talking about like they're tapped in and they know the Most High and things like that, either it's because they really did the work to balance masculine and feminine energy within themselves, or they completely disrespect the feminine and they demean the feminine, and they are liars, and they're literally liars, and they think they're tapped into the divine when in actuality they're tapped into the devil. So I mean, this is really spiritual, so I'm not going off of just meanings only. Like, this is just things that take place that I at least can see, that I can see in real life. So when the Trinity is in order, the masculine has his eyes on the feminine, and the feminine has her eyes on the higher power. And that is the Trinity. That is the original, pristine, unperverted Trinity. Now, when we move over to the Devil card, it's just funny how it shifts. We still have a higher power, right? You guys know, if you have read the Bible or anything like that, Earth, you know this is Satan's domain. He has dominion over this domain. And in the Devil card, well, first of all, the feminine has her attention on I don't even know what. I have no clue what the feminine is looking at. She's not looking at the masculine. She's not looking at Baphomet. She's just lost. She's literally lost. And the man, it's funny because if I look at this closely, yeah, he's still low-key following her lead. Like, he's looking toward her. He's not really looking at her, but he's still kind of facing like her direction, like looking for answers. And they're both just chained up. Like, they're both chained up, but it's an illusion. If you understand anything, I want to go ahead and make a video eventually, maybe I will, about the planet Neptune, because the symbol, the glyph of the Neptune, I'll go ahead and I'll pop it up here, but the glyph of Neptune literally is the trident. It's the pitchfork. And you know that Lucifer or the devil or whoever carries the pitchfork. And they are not strangled, but they have the option to leave, as they said in the description. Like, these chains that are around the necks of these two people, they're really not that tight. But again, it's a choice. It's a decision if you want to walk with the devil. That's your choice. Everybody has that option. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you do have the choice. And if you want to choose to kind of reach the divine, you're going to have to, face them demons and expel them demons, okay? So you'll see that the direction and the attention, where it is. Both of these people look like they don't know what's going on. Both of these people. And then obviously Baphomet, you know him. Like, you know him. He gonna do his thing, okay? And obviously they're in hell. I'm not sure what they mean by the black stone and like the Islam and things like that. I don't I don't know anything about Islam. I never did my research on that religion, but I do see how like they're both chained up, and like the description says, they have the option to leave at any time that they want, but they're choosing to stay there. Now, what I think needs to come into consideration when reading tarot is that when they're comparing the Lovers and the Devil, they all, again, like I said before, they like to use the Lovers as a choice, but the Lovers is very divine. So when the Lovers comes out, I don't think of that as a choice. I think of that as something that's pure. If the Lovers card does come out, and like say you're doing a love reading, or you're doing a reading on like a, let me just make a little note here. When you're reading tarot, you should be, tarot is for divination. It's to read energies that are around you, energies that are in the room, energies that, see, more money. I love money. It's to read energies that are in the room, in the universe, outside, and things like that. It's just kind of immature, and I'm kind of speaking to like myself from like a couple of months ago. It's kind of immature to be using divination to kind of find out if a boy likes you back. If you have to ask the cards if a boy likes you back, you shouldn't be bothering with that boy. That's one thing that has happened on Satan's terrain. The masculine energy, it's impossible to hide when they're feeling the feminine energy. Okay? So that was just a little side note. But when I look at these two cards, first of all, 5 and 1. The Lover's card is a 5 and a 1 to make 6. And then the Devil card is a 10 and a 5. And it still makes 6. It's just opposite. Like, I love the way it's designed. This issue is very intentional. It's as good as the Bible, if you ask me. Like, it's just so deep, just these 78 cards. And when we're looking at this, you can see who's governed by who. When I see the Lover's card, I'm thinking like that's pure, that's true. That means that like the divine is here and that balance is here. Now, obviously, if that card comes out in the reverse, well, we can see what they mean or what they said for when it comes out in the reverse. It says, if an upright Lover's card signals communication and intimacy, then a reverse Lover's card signals a disconnect with your loved ones. Are you going through a rough patch with anybody? Talk with them and try to get back to the fundamental reason why you initially had them in your life. A reverse Lover's card might also signal a lack of self-love. Start a journey of self-discovery in order to get back at the emotional roots of your being. So that's funny. I love self-love. I stand for self-love all the way. I feel like I have been on like a journey of self-love for a really long time, and self-discovery, and just finding myself. Like, I love me. I love me so much, and that's why, because I love me, I can't try to force anybody else to like love me if they don't, you know, like that's their choice. And I think when we're kind of talking about relationships and things like that, and say you are doing a reading, the Devil just has a different, he's in charge of governing something else. Like, he rules illusions. Like I said, Neptune is the pitchfork, and Neptune rules illusions. That's the planet of illusion. It's very dreamy, very gassy. It's a gas planet. And Jupiter is also exalted in Pisces, and Pisces is obviously the ruler of Neptune. Which is funny, because when you think about Pisces, then you can think about the Messiah, and it's all connected. But if you haven't like seen these things for yourself, I can't spend the next 5 hours telling you about it. But this domain that we live in, that is planet Earth, because of our two physical eyes, it's very easy to take what we see as fact. It's very easy to get caught up in the illusion that our eyes make out. Basically, I didn't want to make this video that long. I just wanted to say that when it comes to these two cards, you have a divine relationship, and then you have a divine trinity, and then you have a perverted trinity. And the Devil represents the perverted trinity, because as you can see, these two people have like no focus. Who knows what the hell they're paying attention to? And as you can see, Baphomet is he doesn't look kind. Does he look like he's gonna just reach down and give you a hug, or does he just look like a demon? I mean, you can see. I'll do like a little tidbit on the twin flame thing, because people like to talk about like the karmic relationship and things like that. A karmic relationship would be ruled by the devil. That would be what this card symbolizes. If you're asking about like a karmic relationship or something like that and the Lovers comes out, I'm not going to say, like a lot of tarot readers do, they say like, oh, this means you have a choice. It means you have a choice. Like, no, I would probably start thinking that that's probably a divine connection, or it's a connection that's going to teach you something about self-love and things like that. I wouldn't relate it to being a choice card. That's just not what I see for myself. That's not what I see when I'm looking at the tarot. So I really wanted to make this really quick video to just kind of describe the differences between these two cards, because the Trinity is important when we're talking about like raising our frequency and raising our vibration and doing that inner work and expelling those demons from our body. It is to get to the garden. It is to get back to the garden. And one of the main things that has to happen on earth is the masculine has to turn his respect back to the feminine in order for this planet to get to where she wants to go. And I say she because earth is fertile land. Like I don't see earth as a masculine entity. This realm that we live in, where you can plant seeds and grow seeds and there's water going all over the place, I see that as a feminine entity. So I say she. That's why it's Mama Gaia, our Mother Earth, and things like that. When we celebrate Earth Day, we celebrate life, and life comes out of the womb. So it's like we're like living in a womb. And that makes sense. If you look at the Bible and you look at Genesis, there was waters above and waters below. That sounds pretty womby. That sounds kind of womby, right? Anyway, this is the garden here. And you see that the snake and the tree is on Eve's side. Yeah, the snake is on Eve's side, and she is the one who was entrusted with the knowledge. At first, the snake did not approach Adam. He was too caught up in the illusion. He was too caught up in the physical, which is why he has the tree of fire behind him. But again, it's going back to what I was saying before and how you have that higher power. This is the sacred Trinity. And then this over here with the devil is the perverted Trinity. And that is what the majority of earth, like the majority of people on earth, are living and serving and living throughout this Trinity. So when you're looking at the twin flame thing and say they do choose a karmic over you, I mean, again, it's their choice to go with the devil, right? It's their choice if they want a divine Trinity or a perverted Trinity. And they're going to live out whatever they're going to live out based on what they choose. But the Lovers is not easy to attain. It's not easy to attain because there's so many distractions and so many traps just on planet Earth, and it's really easy to get caught up in the devil. So as Satan being the Lord of this domain, you always have to take things into account. And if your partner or whatever chooses to go with a karmic, they chose to do that. They are not ready for a divine relationship. They're not ready. And there's nothing that you can do to make them be ready. All you can do is, again, the Lovers, you can choose yourself. You can choose self-love above all else. I know I do. If it's not, like, I love myself so much, I won't even allow anything to, like, disturb my peace or get in my way or come in and just disrupt me. It's just impossible. Like I said, this is my sacred space. Like, people are not allowed here because they be bringing all their demons with them, and they be having bunches of demons just latched onto them. And I'm not saying I'm completely purified. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that I put in major work to undergo my initiation into divinity. And now all I will accept is this when it comes to love. My man or a man, a masculine energy that wants to get around me should better be ready to worship the feminine, because otherwise he can't be around me. So, very short video. I didn't want to make it too long. I mean, y'all be coming through watching my video, don't be saying nothing, damn. Shoot. Anyway, that was my video. I wanted to speak very quickly again about these two trinities and what's taking place and where the world needs to go in order to be a divine earth. And it's going to take the masculine energy, like, on a large part, unless, you know, that Bible prophecy comes to pass where 7 women are going to be clinging to 1 man because these niggas are getting taken out. But I did want to just go ahead and speak to that very quickly, because it's important to me. It's important to me. That's why it's on my channel. But these are the two trinities. They're both number 6. Like when you reduce the 5 and the 1 and the 10 and the 5, they both come out to 6. They both have higher powers, and there's a higher nature and there's a lower nature. And the choice is yours, but it's not easy to get to the garden. It's very easy to stick with the devil. That's why it says like these people can leave at any time that they want. They just stay there. It's easier to do that. So that's really all I wanted to do. Very short. That's just what I understand about the lovers and the devil. I guess if you have any discord for me, you can leave your comment below, or you can just get on up out of here or whatever. I don't know. I'm really tired. I can barely focus. I had such a freaking long day. So thank you if you watched to the end, and I'll see you next time.